Hi, welcome everybody, it's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy. We're going to look at some new product today in this video, and it's the PXG and it's the Gen 2 iron. So as we know, PXG launched their first set of irons to the golf market a couple of years ago. Very expensive, but very high quality. They now brought out a Generation 2, hence the name Gen 2. And they've actually added an additional iron in the range. So now I've got 4 irons. So we're going to have a little look today at each of these irons. Going to hit a few shots with each one. Maybe use GC2 HTMC to see how it possibly may change ball flight. So they're going from a sort of a T iron, which is the tour iron, to a P iron, players, to then an XF, which is extreme forgiveness, and then a new one, which is the SGI, which is super game improvement iron. So we're going to maybe look at some numbers against each of those irons as we hit them, how it possibly changes ball flight, launch, spin, etc., and then how that might possibly help you and your games out there. Okay, so we're going to start off with the 0311T iron. So the T stands for Tour. So this is the small compact head shape and design of the 4 models that PXG are offering here. So we're still seeing the same, you know, sort of screws in the back, which is the heavier sort of weights here, which are giving that peripheral weighting of the golf club. Still obviously got that hollow design, which is now a slightly bigger pocket inside there. But the main difference is they've replaced it with a different substance, which they're calling COR2. Basically, this is a dampening sort of infill here material that gives a lot softer sort of feel, but it's also a little bit more explosive on that ball speed. So PXG are claiming sort of 1 to 2 mile an hour more ball speed here, so it's more of a springier sort of effect off the club face. They then couple that in also with what they're saying is an industry thinnest face available here. Pretty bold claim there, because I imagine a lot of the golf companies are getting up to this sort of max of how thin they can have this club face, but PXG say it's their thinnest sort of face here. So that combined with this material inside, the COR2 material, is giving a faster ball speed than the first generation iron. So we're going to start off with the T iron, and this is stunning. I think, you know, I've always liked the PXG irons when I've reviewed the first lot. I thought the feel, the looks is really nice, and this is no exception here. So the T iron, very nice sort of compact here, very little offset there. Sort of a slim to medium top line, so it's not massively thin. It's not like a blade iron. Sometimes when guys look at these, it looks like a blade iron, but it's not. It's hollow. Got to remember that. So it is quite a forgiving golf club. But let's get a few hits with the T iron. Yeah, that's lovely. Feels superb, that. Nice sort of ball flight getting there. So this is a 7 iron I'm hitting here, which is lofted at 32 degrees. So it's not ultra strong, but it's probably stronger than the traditional loftings here. So it's, you know, it's probably sat in a right sort of bracket, I would probably say, for many of the clubs that we see nowadays. Okay, that wasn't as good there. A bit pulled, that one, missed the green. That's more me than the actual golf club there, obviously. Again, it feels really sort of soft. I think, obviously the forged heads, but I think with that infill of that material does give that softer sound to it, all that sort of, like a muted sound really, which I think we would feel as being softer. It feels lovely off the club face. Oh, that's a nice flight. Yeah, I really love the look of that. Ticks a lot of boxes for me. Love the look. It looks to be stopping pretty quick there. I carried out 168 there. Okay, and that's spinning. We'll have a look at the spin numbers a little bit more detail at the end there. So that's the T iron. So we're going to move on and hit the P iron next. Right, so we've now got the P iron here. So the P stands for Players Collection Iron. Again, Gen 2. Very similar sort of look from the back that we see with the T here. But we do see a difference as we present that down by the golf ball. So a slightly longer blade length here from the heel to the toe. A little bit thicker on that top line and probably a touch more offset there. So probably the sort of aspects that you'll generally sort of find as you move through into that slightly bigger slightly bigger sort of head, a little bit more to look at behind that golf ball. Still a very nice look, shape's very similar there. With the P here, the sole gets a touch wider, and probably see this theme as we move through these clubs into the more forgiving ones. The sole's going to get a little bit thicker. So I'm guessing here the sort of pocket of the cavity, the hollowness of the head is just going to get slightly bigger. Just makes it a little bit more offset, moving that CG placement a little bit differently in the golf club. Again, lovely to sort of look at here. Now, again, this is 7 iron, and this loft is 31 degrees, so 1 degree stronger than the T iron. Oh, that's lovely. That came off really well. That looks to be a little bit more powerful. Interesting to see what distance number that gets there. Looks to have travelled a little bit further. Yeah, that carried at 174. Struck that really well there. Okay, again, good strike. Just pull that a little bit. Just, yeah, it's just clinging on that left edge of the green there. So I've hit the target there. Just a little bit pulley for me. Again, 180 there. So this is straight away here. We've seen this just travel a little bit further. Hit one more with a P iron. I've just pushed that one. Hit a pull and I hit a push, just to keep it spiced up a little bit. Yeah, so that's the right edge of the green. Okay, it's dropped off a little bit of distance. I didn't quite get the strike as good as those first few there. Okay, we've just seen that spin number just drop a little bit there also with a P iron. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the XF iron, which stands for Extreme Forgiveness. 3 shots with that, and then we'll move on again. Right, okay, so we've now got the same shaft here again, but we've now got the XF head on here. So that stands for Extreme Forgiveness. So again, as the theme goes along here, as we're moving through these heads into the more forgiving one, again, we're seeing a bigger blade length here. So bigger from heel to toe, a little bit more on that toe section, a bit more offset. And again, that top edge has just got that little bit thicker again. So there's a lot to look at behind the golf ball there. Provides a lot of confidence, and to be honest, this has been a very popular option through our fittings here at the Academy with PXG. Is the XF has been probably one of the more popular options. I think most guys, when they first put it down, they go, "Oh, it's a little bit big looking," but I think as soon as they hit it and they feel that forgiveness across the face, I think they soon overcome the actual looks of it. It does provide with a lot of confidence. So again, we're going to hit 3 shots here, and then we'll see how the XF1 performs. Oh, that's lovely. Nice neutral ball flight there. So nice opening start there for the XF iron. So this, again, this is a 7 iron, and the loft on this is 30 degrees. So we're seeing a theme here as we're going in from that that tour iron to the players. We're decreasing by 1 degree. We're then seeing that decrease again by 1 degree as we go into the XF. So 1 degree stronger than the P iron here. So as we'd probably expect, as the CG is shifting around, the loft is altering to accommodate that. So let's get the second one hit here. Okay, good. Nice neutral flight again there. Yeah, looks to be getting a little bit more out of that. 2 nice shots there. So again, we see that sole of the club just go a touch wider than the P iron. So as the head gets a little bit chunkier, the pocket, I'm guessing, of that hollowness is just getting a little bit bigger and deeper. The sole obviously goes a little bit wider on this one. Okay, so we'll hit the last one with this XF. Oh, lovely. That's probably the 3 best shots I've hit there, to be honest, out of those 3 models of irons. In terms of dispersion, anyway, that's good. That's hit that green quite nicely again there. 182 carry. Okay, so there's 3 shots with the XF. Let's move on to the last one, the SGI. Right, guys. Okay, so we're now into the SGI. So this is the new addition that PXG have put into the family of the irons here. So they had the T, they had the standard one, which is now called a P, but basically that's the same sort of iron they were filling, and then the XF iron. Now this is the new addition, which is SGI, which stands for Super Game Improvement, and we can see this straight away. This is one big club head. So look at the sole first. It is massive. It's really, really wide. It's one of the fattest soles I've ever seen, to be honest. Hugely wide. And again, I'm guessing there's loads of weight being pulled back here. Massive cavity there. And putting that down by the golf ball, you can actually see the back edge of that golf club sticking out behind that top leading edge there. So that might possibly put some people off there. I don't particularly mind it. I just know I've got a lot behind there, so it just fills me with loads of confidence. It just feels like this ball's just going to go nice and high here. So I think for any golfers out there who may be lacking a little bit of speed, maybe struggling to fly at the golf ball, just wants to hit some higher shots with some more distance, I'm guessing this SGI Iron will probably fit that category. So again, bigger blade length here. Offset, probably offsets looks quite similar, to be honest, to the XF. It might be a little bit more, but it looks quite similar there, to be honest. Pretty thick top edge, but we are seeing the back of that sole behind that top edge here. So let's get this first one hit. Oh wow, that's just gone up to the moon and back. Okay, that feels really easy to hit. That's a lovely ball flight. Okay, it'll be interesting to see how far that actually goes there, to be honest, because it didn't feel super powerful, but it just went really high there. Okay, that was a little bit clean there, but it still got up really high, pretty neutral there. Felt really forgiving and stopping pretty quick, to be honest there. Yeah, 180 sort of carry there. I'm not sure on the spin there. We'll look at the spin in a little bit more detail in a minute, to be honest, but that looked to be stopping pretty quick there as it hit that green. Now, this is keeping the theme along here again for some of the other irons. We're seeing this 1 degree stronger yet again, so this is 29 degrees. So, to be honest, without looking at the specs here, I was going to guess this was going to be like super strong. Looking at the head, look at the makeup of it, I was thinking this is going to be like 28, probably even 27 degrees of loft here, really super strong. In terms of maybe competing against maybe like the M4s out on the market or other brands, the Rogues, that are really, really strong. But 29 degrees isn't, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's strong, but it's not as strong as possibly other irons on the market. Okay, let's get this third shot hit with the SGI. Just looks so confident, inspiring when you put that down by the ball. Okay, again a little bit toey that one, but it's done well. It's, you know, it's flighting nice and high. That's hitting target. That's pretty long. That's right over the flag. So no, I've not quite struck that. Really forgiving at golf club there, really forgiving. Right, okay, so SGI hit. So we'll hit all four there, 3 balls with each one. We're going to look at some numbers, a little bit more detail between those 3 shots. Granted, there's only 3 shots hit here, but I don't obviously hit loads of balls here because otherwise this video will be about half an hour long. So we're going to look at those shots and between those irons and see subtle differences, if there is any, between those 4 clubs, sorry. Right, okay, let's have a look at some numbers in a little bit more detail. So we've got the T, the P, the XF and the SGI all listed there. And we've got those row of grey boxes which are the averages here. So we're going to look first of all at the T. So that was ball speed 119. As we went into the P, that went to 122, 124 and then 126. So quite a consistent jump of 2 mile an hour ball speed between each of those models there. Obviously that's to do a lot with the loft there, as it changed maybe by 1 degree. That's just changing that speed up a little bit more. Looking at launch angle, so the T was 18.6, the P was 19.5, XF was actually a little bit lower there, 18.1, and the SGI 18.5. So actually the P launched higher than the other models there, which you'd expect it to, again, have that increase there. But when we look at maybe peak height here, so we look at the peak height here of the P that launched the highest at 36, you see the SGI actually peaked at 37, and that included that little thin one there at 36. So SGI peaked differently, even though it didn't launch as high there. But looking at spin numbers here, so the T at 6,000 was expect the most spinning one with the more loft, 5.5 with the P, 5.1 with the XF, and the SGI actually spun at 5.6. So again, I'd expect that to go a little bit low again, but probably because of the way that weight's pulled back, it's probably, you know, that's maybe one of the reasons why that spins sort of increased a little bit there, but obviously lower than the T there. So I think that SGI is a little bit of a different one there. I was thinking that's just be ultra strong, low spin, smashing it for miles, but it's actually, ultra forgiveness, I think they're working on there, and just ease of ball flight in terms of getting that ball in the air. So looking at some carry numbers there, 167 with the T, 174, 179 and 180. So sort of numbers you would expect to see going through those models. Right, so there we go, guys. There's the new Gen 2 irons from PXG. So I think visually, as you first look at them, you're going to think, oh, there's no real difference to the first generation irons there. But I think there is some subtle little curvature differences, which isn't massive. But I think under the bonnet, inside the club, they've done some very different things, in terms of that substance that they've put in, what they call now COR2. Claiming a little bit more springier, thinner face, a bit more ball speed. Possibly another video for me to do there is maybe comparing these against the first generation and see if we actually see that difference of ball speed. I'm guessing maybe strike's going to override that a little bit, but again, probably do that video for you guys. But this was just really show you the 4 models, and obviously the newer model of the SGI coming into the range there from PXG, which I like. I think again that's going to be a really popular one for maybe the slower swing speeds, guys who just want to get that ball flight and get it sort of dropping and stopping a little bit more. That ticks a lot of boxes. Very, very forgiving golf club behind that golf ball. So there we go, PXG irons. Well, let me know your thoughts. Again, the price tag is very different, but I'll let you guys decide whether that's right or wrong. The quality of them are second to none. I've got to admit, they are beautiful. The sets we've sold to guys here at the academy, the feedback has been fantastic. The quality, they feel the quality is superb. The way that it gets presented, the way they come. I think again, PXG are into this. It's all about the experience here of getting the fit, receiving them in a lovely presentation box. It's all that sort of part and parcel of it, really, that gives you that sort of PXG feeling and experience. So, credit to them. They do that very, very well. Really good product. Really pleased with that. 4 good sort of irons there, hitting very much different sort of levels of golfers. So, find me some comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the new range there from PXG. If you've got a set, let me know your thoughts. Give me some feedback on them. I'm guessing you're not going to say, well, they're horrible, I don't like them, when you've spent X amount of money on them. But let me know your thoughts anyway. How you've got on with them. So, thanks very much for watching the video, guys. I always appreciate it. As ever, do hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon also, so you get notifications any future videos. Social media links are all in the description down below, so feel free to follow me up on those, and hopefully I'll catch up with you all very soon.